This is a video on how to mat your artwork. The piece that I'm using for this demonstration is unfinished. However, hopefully yours is finished, as that would be the only reason you would need to mat your piece. You will need a pencil and a ruler for this part of the process. First, we are going to measure the height and the width of your image, not the whole paper as I'm pointing out, just the image. When you go to measure the height and width, take a slightly smaller measurement, because if you take the exact amount of the height and the width of your image, sometimes the inside of the frame will show a little bit of the white of the paper, and we don't want that. So if your whole image width, as I'm measuring, is 20, go in about a half an inch and do 19 and a half. I'm writing my measurements on the side of my paper so I can remember. And now I'm going to add 4 inches to both those measurements, because you want a 2-inch mat or a 2-inch frame. So my 13-inch becomes 17 and my 20.5-inch becomes 24.5. And I'm going to take this measurement and cut a piece of mat board that size. So now what you are seeing is where the mat board is located. There are 2 spots. First is inside the cabinet labeled mat board, and these are full sheets of black and white mat. Up here on top of the counter is scraps of mat that people have cut and used the other half, and this is left over. And sometimes we can find a piece that will work instead of getting out a full new sheet. You will decide if you want a white or black mat depending on your image and what looks best. But if you do need a full sheet, you'll just pull one of these out, and you will go to the paper cutter located right behind me here, where we're going to cut our mat board the size we just measured. So now we are at the paper cutter. The first thing you will need to do is pull up on the blade so our paper can slide through. At the bottom is a ruler. We will use this ruler to make sure that we are cutting it the correct measurement. So my first measurement is the 24.5. I'm lining it up, push down on the blade to cut off the excess, and now I'm going to turn my paper to cut the other side, open the blade, slide the paper through, line it up with the 17, cut off the excess, and now we are left with a 24.5-inch by 17-inch mat board, which is exactly what we need. Now you will take your mat board to the mat cutting station. This is a mat cutter. It is already set to 2 inches because what we want is a 2-inch frame. You will need a pencil for this part of the process, so make sure that's available to you. Slide your mat board into the mat cutter, and you are going to use the pencil to draw your frame. Like I said, it's already set to 2 inches. This is just an easier way to make a 2-inch frame instead of you getting a ruler, measuring 2 inches, connecting those lines. This is much faster. These lines that we are drawing are going to be our guides for us to know when to start cutting and when to stop cutting. So once you have all 4 lines, you will get the mat blade, set it on the track. It should move easily up and down. Line up the hash mark on the blade with your pencil line. Put your left hand in this little gap to make sure the paper doesn't shift as you push in the blade, and push up the blade cutter on the track, and stop when that little hash on the blade lines up with your pencil line. Like I said, we are using your pencil lines as guides. So I just pulled the blade in so that way the blade isn't sticking out. This is what it would look like if it was sticking out, and someone could get cut if it is. So every time you take it off the track, pull it in so that way no one will get hurt, and set it off to the side. You are going to turn your paper, and you will continue to do this for all 4 sides. Put it on the track, line the hash mark up with your pencil line, put your left hand in here so it doesn't shift, push the blade in with your thumb, push up until the hash mark lines up with the top pencil line. And make sure the blade comes in so you don't hurt anyone, and you will do it again 2 more times. And we are just going to fast forward through this part. Here is the finished product. Here's the frame, and here's the piece that we cut out. You can put that over in the scrap section so someone else can use it. Double check that your frame fits your image. Now the actual paper the artwork is on is slightly bigger than the actual frame, so we're just going to cut off that top sliver of white so it's hidden behind the frame. Now you are going to secure the frame to your artwork. You are going to need masking tape for this part of the process. You will take a small piece of masking tape, stick it to the back sticky side up of your piece at the top. This is going to help me to line up my frame and stick it so when I flip it, it doesn't shift and I mess it up. Make sure when you stick your mat that the pencil side is facing down because we don't want to see those marks. They don't look nice. So I'm kind of lining it up, making sure it's in the right position. Once it's in the right position, then I'm going to rub where the tape is so that way it really sticks. And when I flip it, it won't shift like I said. And now I can take longer pieces of tape and tape each side and make sure that it is secured. The finished product is a well measured and well cut frame that helps your artwork to look finished and ready to be hung up. I hope this demonstration was helpful to you.